Our first guest is boss to over 1,000 uniformed police officers who patrol all 6 zones in the city of Jacksonville. She is one of only 4 women leaders to rise in the ranks to the role of director within the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. She's speaking at Gen W next Friday, but today she is here with us. So we welcome Nichelle Cook, Director of Patrol and Enforcement with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, to the show.
Hi.
Nichelle.
I'm sorry, but that's like worthy of applause. You guys are having a lot of fun here.
We are having fun. Now we will watch ourselves. You being in uniform.
No more fun. Can I just say one thing that I noticed when I was sitting
Yes.
watching the other segments?
Maybe.
Yes. You guys have the most incredible shoes. and I wear boots every day to work.
Oh.
And when I retire, I'm going to put all my boots into a big pile and light them on fire safely.
I can
And
understand
I'm going to go out and buy me some fabulous shoes.
Uh-oh.
Who's that?
I don't know. Things are falling.
John,
That's how it works around here.
Yes, that's what happens sometimes. Live TV, can you tell? All right, so Nichelle,
Yes.
You're a police officer.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you were growing up, is that something you wanted to do as a little, because you know a lot of times when you ask little kids, when police officers, firemen, teacher,
Heroes.
you know, yeah. Is that what you wanted to do, or how did you end up in the profession?
When I was younger, it was a choice between Wonder Woman or veterinarian.
Oh!
And those were my choices.
What happened to Wonder Woman?
Yeah, right.
Right? The cups, don't you?
Right.
She is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman won.
I know. Except I don't have the magic bracelets.
Yeah, well, yes, you kind of do for some
Kinda do.
people.
Well, that's true.
Kinda do,
That's
probably
true.
behind
That's
you.
true. I actually ended up in law enforcement by accident. I was in college, and I was taking some criminal justice classes as an elective. I wanted to be a teacher at the time. And one of the classes I had to take was required that you do a ride-along with an officer. So I jump in the car, I'm like, yeah, I'll knock this out. And one of our first calls, we got to run, it's called X, Blue Lights and Sirens, down the wrong way on a street to a big bar fight. And the officer burst into the bar, and everybody's fighting, and I'm like, I want to do this. And I changed my major, and went home and told my parents. My dad was like, okay, okay. My mom was like, my baby. No, but it was, my parents were fully supportive of the decision. And so I kind of ended up in by accident.
But you didn't
27
have
years ago.
other family members that were in
No,
law enforcement,
no.
so this was...
So how long have you been a police officer?
Over 25 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So is it, you know,
Amazing.
you got into it because of the excitement. Has it been everything that you've dreamed of? I mean, you have, you know, moved up in the ranks.
Sure.
So you've you know, gained responsibility, etc. But is it everything you've dreamed of? I imagine, since you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I have been able to do some fabulous, fun, exciting things. You know, I tell young officers, you're going to get to do things that they make movies out of. And, you know, whether it's working undercover or chasing people or riding with lights and sirens, you know, down a one-way street, or riding a bicycle. I've been up in the helicopter. You know, there's very few days that are boring in my line of work. It's really a lot of fun.
So, I mean, coming into your line of work as a female in, I would imagine, a pretty male-driven...
Pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what is that like for you, and has it been a struggle? Has it been difficult, or, you know, what's been your experience with that?
Well, you know, it was interesting because when I went to do my interview, and I think because I wasn't from Jacksonville, I was a little naive about Southern.
Where are
police
you from?
departments. Navy brat, so been all around.
Okay.
So I get into policing by accident. I don't realize I'm not really supposed to be here. Okay, and so I go into my interview, and they're like, "Well, you're awful little," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I got 2 brothers. You know, I could fight." And they're like, "Okay, well, we don't have uniforms that fit you." They literally gave me men's uniforms. I had to have everything altered, and when my pants were altered, the 2 pockets in the back actually touched in the middle seam. So like one giant pocket across my backside. So
Super sexy.
yeah, it was, and it went with the black boots that I had. It went with the black boots that I had.
Nice.
But you know, I had to go to Sears and get boys' blue pants, and I had to get boys' shoes. But we've come so far, and now you know, there's obviously officers that are smaller than me on the force now, and they make uniforms to fit everybody. And but in the beginning, it was a little bit of a challenge. It was, but again, it was, you know, you kind of take it with a sense of humor and just work through it.
What challenges do you experience, though? I saw we were talking about you're a boss supervisor of 1,000 other officers.
Yes.
What is that like, and how many women are on that force out of opposed to men?
Okay, so the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, we have about 14% women.
14%.
Which is a national average, and so most of the people that I do oversee are men, and it's you know, they're great. I've been so blessed to be surrounded by a bunch of men and women who really care about this community. And you know, police officers come from the human race, so there are mistakes made. But most of the people that work for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office really want to be here and really want to make a difference. And oftentimes the mistakes that are made can be handled through training, or you know, they get chewed out. They know if they get called to my office, we're going to shut the door and have a little, we call it a prayer session, and get their minds right and get it fixed and move on. But you know, I've been very fortunate that the people that I work for and with are fantastic. Just fantastic.
I just think it's so fascinating to choose this line of work. You have 4 children of your own.
Yes.
So you put your life on the line every single day, and you know, you put yourself out there. What are some of the safeguards that you, like, I don't know, I go to work and I put on some mascara and some false eyelashes and I'm good to go. But like, you go out and you've got a bulletproof vest and you're like,
Right.
you're in there in the mix. What is that like for you on a daily basis?
Well, my job is, I go to meetings now. You know, gone are the good old days of chasing bad guys. I go to lots of meetings. No more bar fights. No. But you know, but every day, you know, to and from work, I stop at the gas stations to get coffee in the morning, or I stop and go to a restaurant for lunch. People don't know who I am, so they assume because I have on the uniform that I'm a police officer. Obviously, I am. So you're never really off duty, even if you're downtown going to
Do
meetings.
people thank you for your service?
You know, that has been phenomenal in the past couple of
Awesome.
years. The support that this community has for our officers is phenomenal. It's so nice to be out and people come up and thank you for the service. But you know, it's funny because my kids watch Cops, because I was on Cops many years ago.
Oh, you were?
Oh, yes.
What?
Yes.
We
17
didn't even
years
get
ago.
into that.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So every episode.
Don't we have one of those little episodes for here? Roll the tape.
Roll
This is your life, Michelle.
Did you get the bad guy?
I did. John Walsh came and rode with me too from America's Most Wanted. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
much
awesome.
information that we didn't get to.
Okay,
All right, you're
yeah.
back.
I'm back.
You're on another episode. Like, you're back with us.
My kids
All right.
watch Cops all the time. You're not on the show, Mom. I'm like, I'm only in season 12, guys. But we've watched, you know, so it's funny.
Well, listen, we are happy to have you here and love to hear about your background, which we just talked about. But we want to hear about what you're going to be talking about at the conference next Friday. So you're going to stay with us, and we're going to hear from Michelle and what she's going to talk about more about Gen W coming up next.